Welcome to Physics Power channel. Now I will explain important topic in gravitation, that is Kepler laws. So Kepler explained some details about the planetary motion. So as three different laws. So those are three laws. One is first law, that is law of orbits. Second law is also called as law of areas, and the third law is also called as law of time periods or simply law of periods. Let us see first law. So according to Kepler first law, it is about the motion of the planet around the sun in a particular orbit. So that is, every planet revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit with sun is at one of its foci. This law is also known as law of orbit reason. So I mentioned already. So here Kepler said every planet, here P is the planet, is revolving around the sun in elliptical orbit. So about orbit, so that is why it is also known as law of orbits. So for this orbit, major axis will be there, here AB major axis, and the vertical one, this is called minor axis. Half of the major axis we are calling as the semi major axis, and half of this axis we are calling as semi minor axis. So semi major axis indicated with small a, semi minor axis indicates with small b, and here capital A, capital B, these two are indications of shortest distance from the sun and longest distance from the sun for those points. So this point, nearest point, nothing but we are calling as perihelion, and longest distance point we are calling as aphelion. Now go for Kepler second law. Before that, here in the diagram E is also there. E is called eccentricity. Kepler derived mathematically this second law. Mathematically he showed, that is, according to the eccentricity value we can say the shape of the curve. If this E eccentricity value greater than 1, that is hyperbola, equals to 1, that is parabola, less than 1, that is ellipse. Okay, here Kepler derived mathematically and analyzed that E eccentricity of the planet revolving around the sun, that value is less than 1. So with respect to that, he concluded the path is an elliptical path around the sun. Next, according to second law, every planet is revolving. So while revolving in a particular interval of time, it covers a same area. So that one, if you analyze systematically, the radius vector drawn from sun to the planet gives equal areas in equal interval of time. So that is also known as areal velocity, nothing but rate of change of area, that is a constant. See here, we know in classical mechanics, so in general kinematics, the rate of change of displacement, nothing but velocity, here rate of change of area, so that is why areal velocity. So again I am explaining here, if you consider a diagram, from the diagram sun to the planet, for example at any point, so here the distance we are calling as radius vector. The radius vector drawn from sun to the planet gives equal areas in equal interval of time. See, in a particular time of t, the planet radius vector covered same areas. So that is why again I am repeating, the planet radius vector drawn from sun to the planet sweeps equal areas in equal interval of time. That is Kepler's second law, that is the rate of change of area constant. Next, Kepler third law, that is about periods. So that is why we are calling as law of period. So second law, they explained about areas. So that is why that is law of areas. Now it is about time period. Time period means the time taken to cover one complete revolution around the sun. For example, a planet started here and completed one revolution, nothing but it covered one complete path, nothing but the time taken is called time period. Time taken to finish one rotation or one revolution. Okay, now the square of the time period of the planet revolving around the sun is directly proportional to cube of the semi major axis of the orbit. That is Kepler's third law. So square of the time period of the planet, you can see as an equation also, square of the time period of the planet revolving around the sun is directly proportional to cube of the semi-major axis of the orbit, that is Kepler-third law. For this proof also there, to derive this one, approximately Kepler consider this path as a circle, and before that here t square proportional to a cube we can also write like this. This is useful to solve some numericals. For example, Ta, time taken to finish rotation for a planet A, for suppose. Next, similarly for planet B, then for the two planets radius semi major axis values Ra and Rb, then we can write like this. Next, Kepler third law proof. For that, just consider example, Earth revolving around the Sun in circular orbit with radius, for example, capital R. For suppose, let capital M is the mass of the Sun and small m is the mass of the Earth, and for example the Earth is revolving with a velocity v. Now for this Earth to continue as it is this path, compulsory every time it should obey one thing, that is the attractive force between the Sun and the Earth, and due to the rotation outward force, both should be balanced. So here due to Sun attractive force and due to the velocity of the Earth outward force, both should be balanced, then only it will follow continuously that circular path, or according to what he said, elliptical path. Okay, so here approximately consider the radius as fixed one as r. Now due to the rotation, centrifugal force, outward force will act, that with respect to velocity we can write that is as mv square by r, centrifugal force, but that force is balanced by gravitational attractive force by the Sun. Okay, for example r is the distance, then gravitational attractive force according to Newton's law of gravitation, that is g m by r square, capital M into small m by r square. Next, here these two are same, then only the Earth can rotate in that fixed orbit. Every time these should be same. If not, for example, centrifugal force more, then it will move little bit away from the Sun. If gravitational force more, then Earth will come towards the Sun little bit. Okay, so if both are same, then it will continue the same path. So both forces are equal. So we can write centrifugal force equals to gravitational force. So these two equations are same. So we can write mv square by r equals to g by r square. Now both sides small m get cancelled. So if you get cancelled, and as well as r and square also get cancelled. If you get cancelled, then left side only gm by capital R and right side only v square. Means here v square I wrote this right side and gm by r I write left side. Now further, the velocity we can analyze in such a way: the speed, or generally the speed of the planet, distance by time. So the total distance covered, for example 2 pi r, if you consider within the time period. So for one complete rotation, the time taken we are calling as time period capital T. So in that time period capital T, it is covering the distance 2 pi into capital R. So distance by time nothing but 2 pi r, that is circumference of the circle. So that is why I said approximately consider a circular path, so that he can define here 2 pi r. So distance traveled by the planet in a particular time, that is speed. Okay, now already we derived the expression according to the previous expression in the previous slide, that is gm by r equals to v square. Now instead of v in this equation, if you substitute this one, then gm by r equals to, instead of v, 2 pi r by capital T whole square, so which is equals to 4 pi square r square by t square. Now further, if you shift r this side, then r square into r cube, and this t square if you shift towards left side, then you will get t square equals to 4 pi square into, here left side gm, if you shift towards right side it will go to denominator, so 4 pi square by gm into r cube. Now here in the right side expression, you can see 4 constant, pi square constant, capital G constant, capital M mass of the sun, all are constants. So if you remove the constant, we can write T square proportional to R cube. That is only Kepler third law. The square of the time period of the planet revolving around the sun is directly proportional to cube of the semi-major axis of the orbit. Here average radius he derived, but actually semi-major axis of the orbit. Okay, this is the topic. If you want any specific topic, mention in the comment section. I will try to post that video also. Thank you.